Welcome to HP Sprinter. This demonstration will guide you through your first steps in creating and running manual tests using Sprinter, HP's manual test solution. Let's start by connecting to HP ALM. We click the HP ALM button, enter our HP ALM project and login information, and log in. The connection icon indicates the Sprinter is connected to HP ALM. Using Sprinter, it is possible to both author manual tests and run them. You can switch between the working modes, the plan mode, which is used for test authoring, and the run mode, which is used for running tests. Selecting the required mode is done from Sprinter's title bar. For the demonstration, we will create and later run a login test for the Mercury Tours application. Let's start by selecting the plan mode from the title bar and then creating a new test using the New Test button. As we can see, a new test was added to our test list and we can now start editing the test steps. We collapse the test list to get more space on the screen and start to edit the first step. In this step, we want to use the same test with different data, so we will create test parameters, one for the username and the other for the password. Now we will edit the description using these parameters. We continue by adding the expected result in the expected result field. While editing the description and expected result, we can format the text using rich text capabilities. We will also attach a screen capture of the application to the step to demonstrate our actions. In addition, we can attach any type of attachment that will be available during test execution. Now we will create an additional step by clicking the Add button. Alternatively, we could add a step by pressing the Tab key. We will edit the step's details similar to what we did for the first step. Adding steps to the test can also be done using the Steps Capture tool. Steps Capture is a tool which accelerates the test creation process by automatically creating the test steps based on user actions on the application under test. For more details about this tool, refer to the Test Authoring movie and the Sprinter User Guide. Before saving the test, we provide the test a name and a description in the Test tab. We can also attach any relevant files to the test through the Test Attachments pane. Our test is ready. We save the test to HP ALM. It is now available from either Sprinter or from HP ALM Client. After you create a test and review it, it is time to run it. The first step in preparing our run is to add our test to a test set in ALM's Test Lab module. Let's assume that the test is already included there. We start by changing the working mode to Run. We click the Open button in the Run Setup area. In the Open dialog, we see all the available test sets in our project. Selecting a test set shows all of its tests. Let's browse the available test sets and select the Flight test set. All the tests that are included in the Flight test set are displayed, and now we can select the tests we want to run. Let's select the Login test and open it in Sprinter. The test definitions for the login test that are defined in HPALM, such as the general settings, steps, and parameters, are displayed in the Details pane in the right pane of the main window. Let's assign actual values to the parameters. The test has two parameters, username and password. The actual values that we enter here will be used during the run. In order to use Sprinter's advanced features, we have to define the application we are testing. We define our application, along with other advanced configurations, in the Power Mode area. Let's activate Power Mode. Power Mode provides a range of features and tools that enhance our manual tests, including mirroring, data injection, macro record and replay, and more. Let's add an application to our application list. In the Add Application dialog box, we enter the application name, URL, and technologies that were used to develop the application. By selecting the appropriate technologies, Power Mode is able to learn the objects in the application's display and use its advanced capabilities. Another way to define the application we are testing is by using the Quick Add option, where we select our application from a list of currently running applications. All the application details are automatically added by Sprinter. Now let's start the run. When the run starts, we can see that our application is automatically invoked. All of Sprinter's functionality is accessed through sidebars, so most of the screen real estate is available for the application we are testing. The Steps sidebar provides us with an organized and user-friendly display of the test steps, including the step name, description, and expected result. It also enables us to navigate through steps, add step results, attachments, add new steps, and edit existing steps. The status bar includes a progress bar and status area that indicates the number of steps that are already completed. Let's perform the first step and enter the user credentials for the Mercury Tours application. We see that the actual values that we defined earlier for the username and password parameters are displayed in the step description. This step has passed successfully, so we can click the Pass Selected Steps button. We see that after setting the step status to Passed, the next step is automatically selected, and the status bar indicates that the first step is completed. Let's continue with the test and log in to the Mercury Tours website. This step failed, so let's report the failure by clicking the Fail Selected Steps button. We see that the step status is changed to Failed at the right side of the steps header. In addition, the next step is not automatically selected. This is done to enable us to address the step failure. We may want to add an actual result to the step, open a defect about the failed step, or address the problem in another way before moving on to the next step. Let's add an actual result to the step by simply clicking the Actual Result button on the Steps toolbar or on the right side of the Steps header. In the Actual Result dialog, we enter a description of the result and include a screen capture of our application by clicking the Save Screen Capture as Actual Result button. We can also easily submit a defect to HPALM. The Run control sidebar enables us to navigate between tests, view and set a test status, and stop our run. In this sidebar, we see that Sprinter set our test status to failed because one of our steps failed. Now let's stop the run. This movie guided you through your first steps using Sprinter. You can learn more about the features presented here and other Sprinter capabilities in the Feature Movies and in the HP Sprinter User Guide.